Right, hello everyone, and welcome to Warren's Team Talk. It's nice to see you all here, and it's the old school Gunner. Hi, mate, how you doing? I know you sent me a message earlier. Sorry, I haven't responded yet. I will. Um, Answer to your question. No, I'm not feeling that great, to be honest. But YouTube is YouTube. It's unforgiving, mate. As you know, you have to keep going and plowing ahead and get on with it. So yeah, I'm all right, but yeah. Um. Anyway, so like I say, thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you're all well. Well, better than what I am, anyway. Um. And please don't forget to put a like on the video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. That would be absolutely fantastic. And like I said in the comments, please pass the video around to as many different people as you possibly can, and it'll help to make the world a better place. Anyway, so that's the shameless marketing over and done with. And as we say, stand up if you hate Tottenham. Stand up if you hate Tottenham. Um, and old school Gunner says, get well soon, Warren. Thank you, old school. Um, yeah, hopefully I'll get through this stream without any dramas, but we'll see. Taib says, hi, Warren. Hi, Taib. I hope you're well, mate. Nice to see you. Old school Gunner says, hi, Taib. And hi, Dave says, oh, Taib. Absolutely shameless. Yeah, man, you got to do. No one's going to do it for you. That's for sure. Anyway, so what we're going to do today, we're going to preview the upcoming Premier League fixtures that are happening on Saturday and Sunday of this week. There's 9 games. The reason there's 9 games is because Chelsea are involved in the Club World Cup, and I have to say I'm fucking jealous. I'm absolutely jealous. I just think it's wonderful for them. I really do. I just wish it was us, because to me that's the pinnacle. The Club World Cup. You can't top that. You can't. It's you've got to be. If you win it, you're world champions. Yeah, and I know people will say, well, it's easier to win than the Champions League and all the rest of it, but you got to win the fucking Champions League to get into it. So yeah, for me, it's the number one. But I know other people will disagree with me about that. But yeah, fair play to them. I don't like Chelsea. Everyone who knows me knows that. But that goes back to the 70s and 80s, and a few incidents at Ivory involving myself and Chelsea fans. So. And Taif says Arsenal competing for the Arteta Cup. That's finished. Laugh out loud, mate. We'll be lucky to get that the way we're going. Anyway, so let's get on with it. Just want to remind everyone, as I always do recently, that there is a petition available. If you don't want Mikel Arteta to be offered a new contract, the link for it is in the description of this video. Click on the link and you can go in there and sign the petition digitally. It's completely free. And yeah, it's one way that we can show the club that we don't want him being offered a new contract. What about Overmars? Oh, Christ. I was hoping that and no one was going to ask me that. Mate, I think his career's done. I really do. I don't know how he's going to come back from that. I really don't. As he admitted that he'd done it, that's the thing. I don't know. I just can't see how he's gonna come back from it. Because football's a small world. Everyone talks to each other. And as soon as something like that happens, that's it. You're done. You're done. It really is. But But yeah, so sadly for him, what he did was absolutely shocking. Thanks for that, old school, sending me that. That's great. Sadly for him, I think his career's finished. I just don't know what he's going to do. It's going to be difficult for the guy, and he's still a very young guy. I mean, not in terms of football, but he's still got a family and that to support and all the rest of it. I don't know. He'll find it difficult to get another job. I mean, I remember a few months ago I was listening to Graham Rix talking. Graham Rix is, anyone who doesn't know, was an ex-Arsenal player. He played for the club in the 70s and 80s. He went to Chelsea and did coaching at Chelsea, and he unfortunately got himself involved with underage girls and whatnot. And, his career's done. He can't get a job anywhere, coaching anywhere. They just won't employ him. So it's terrible. But that's what happens when you do stuff like that. That's the consequence. So an old school gunner says, what the fuck was he thinking? Yeah, absolutely. It must have been just a moment of madness. And yeah, there you go. So back to the stream. This is the Premier League table this morning. Obviously, there's a couple of games tonight. Liverpool are playing. I can't even remember who they're playing, to be honest. But yeah, they are playing tonight. And then obviously Arsenal are playing Wolves. Molineux, big game. It's going to be a really hard game because Wolves, defensively, they're really solid. Well, they were up until they lost at the weekend in the FA Cup to Norwich. They lost 1-0 at home. Norwich have been playing quite well of late, to be fair to them. So, yeah, this is going to be a really interesting game, really tough game for the Gunners. And you look at the goals against column and you see how few goals Wolves have conceded. I think there's only one team in the league who's conceded fewer, and that's Manchester City. So, and old school, I ain't reading that out. Sorry, I am not saying those words. And then Ward-Prowse devoured Spurs. He did, mate. I'm telling you, I'd like to see us go and sign him, to be quite frank. Because I'm not sure if it's true, but I've heard that he's a Guna. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah, anyone who's any good, yes, we get told that they're a Guna, don't we? So God knows, really. Yeah, so that was the league table this morning. Arsenal and Tottenham both on the same points and they played the same games, which is handy because a few weeks ago they was about 2 points behind and 3 games in hand. So they've spunked those games in hand up the wall. But we've both got 2 points in hand over Manchester United and 3 point games in hand over West Ham. So we could both climb into 4th and to 5th. If we win our games in hand. But one of those games in hand for both clubs is the North London Derby at White Hart Lane. So that will have a big bearing, I think, on who's going to end up finishing 4th. The bottom 3 is heating up as well because you look at the bottom 5, Everton, Newcastle, Norwich, Watford and Burnley. There's 5 points separating 5 clubs, so it's getting really tight down there. And Ty Hussein says it's Will-Prowse a piranha that he devoured Spurs. Laugh out loud, mate. Did you know that a pack of piranhas can devour a horse in 4 seconds? I bet you didn't know that. And in the Amazon jungle, old school will probably tell you this as well. They've got flying piranhas. Yeah, there you go. I bet you didn't know that. Flying piranhas. Fucking hell, man. You imagine coming across a pack of those bastards. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the league table. And it's getting really exciting. There's about between 18 and 14 games left, depending on what club you are. Brentford have played 24. Leicester have played 20 and Burnley have played 20. So it's getting really, really tight. So the fixtures this week at what the so the fixtures this weekend. Saturday it starts Manchester United against Southampton. And then Saturday there are 3 o'clock kickoffs. It's Brentford against Crystal Palace, Everton against Leeds, Watford against Brighton, and those 3 games are the games we're going to mostly focus on in the match day live show. And then there's the 5:30 kickoff between Norwich and Man City on Saturday. Then on Sunday there's 2 o'clock kickoffs: Burnley against Liverpool, Newcastle against Aston Villa, Tottenham against Wolves, and finally the 4:30 kickoff is Leicester against West Ham. And Old School says Ward Drowse is the Messiah, and then he says Prowse. Yeah. I think I agree with you, mate. I think he's quality. He's a poor man's Jack Grealish. And I remember a few years ago there was him, Ward Prowse, Jack Grealish, and the lad who plays for Leicester. What's his name? The English lad. The 3 midfield players, and they were all on a similar level, all midfield players. So if we can get hold of one of the other 2, we're not going to get Jack Grealish, that's for sure. But if we can get either the lad from Leicester or the one from Southampton, I think we'll be doing well. I really do. And the other thing, Southampton, they've got a young lad playing up front by the name of Broja. He's Albanian, Armando Broja. He looks an absolute handful, that lad. I really like him. It reminds me a bit of Alan Smith. So yeah, Warren, you might get a piranha fly right into your oven, freshly baked fish. Laugh out like, lovely. Yep, get the chips on. That'll go down lovely. And Old School Gunner says Boris had a piranha party. He certainly did, mate. Fucking hell. How that man's still in power, I've got no idea. Yeah, Maddison, that's the one. Yeah, the 3 of them. There was him, James Maddison, Jack Grealish, and James Ward-Prowse, all on a similar level. And obviously Jack Grealish went off to play for Man City, but there's no reason why we can't get Maddison or James Ward-Prowse. There isn't. We really can't. Now, as I said, there's only 9 games, and the 10th game should have been Arsenal against Chelsea. But obviously, because Chelsea are playing in the Club World Cup, it's got cancelled. So, we haven't got a game this weekend, according to the BBC website. And Old School says Maddison. Exactly. Right, so let's have a look at the current form of the sides playing in this weekend's fixtures. So the first one, Manchester United against Southampton. Man United's last 5 home games have seen them win 1-0 against Crystal Palace. The game with Brighton and Hove Albion was postponed. They won 3-1 at home to Burnley, lost 1-0 at home to Wolves, and won 1-0 against West Ham. And then the Southampton's away games, their last 5 away games they lost 3-0 at Arsenal, they drew 2-2 with Crystal Palace, won 3-2 at They won 3-2 at West Ham. They lost 3-1 at Wolves and won 3-2 at Tottenham last night. So that's that one. At the end, I'm going to give you my predictions for the weekend's games as well. Then Brentford against Crystal Palace. Brentford, their form's been quite indifferent. Their last 5 home games, they've won 2 and lost 3. They've won 2-1 against Watford. They lost 1-0 at home to Manchester City. They won 2-1 against Aston Villa, lost 3-1 to Manchester United, and lost 2-1 against Wolves. Taib says, Warren, honestly, this fan base is absolutely useless. They are, mate. It's a fucking shambles. I completely agree with you, and it's a massive problem because they just roll over and let the Cronkies tickle their tummies. They really do. It's embarrassing. Nice stats, Warren. Great presentation, says Old School. You're welcome, buddy. I do try and put a bit of work into it, so thank you. Then Crystal Palace's away form. I've seen them lose 1-0 at Manchester United. They had the game with Watford postponed. They lost 3-0 at Tottenham. They've drawn 1-1 with Brighton and drew 1-1 with Norwich. So their away form has been quite poor. They haven't won one since before the beginning of December. So it's not looking good for them on the road, to be honest. Next game, Everton against Leeds United. Everton have, in their last 5 home games, they beat us 2-1 on the 6th of December. The game with Newcastle, scheduled for the 30th of December, got called off. And then they lost 3-2 at home to Brighton. They had a game with Leicester called off, and they lost 1-0 against Aston Villa. And now they're really close to the relegation zone. So this game against Leeds is a massive 6-pointer because Leeds are down near the bottom as well. Now, Leeds lost 5 away games. They've lost 2, drawn 1, and won 1, and had 1 postponed. So they lost 3-2 at Chelsea, got absolutely smashed by Manchester City 7-0. They had the game with Liverpool postponed. They won 3-2 at West Ham and drew last night 3-3 with Aston Villa. And apparently it was an absolute belter of a game. So that's twice in the last 2 games now that Leeds have scored 3 goals. So, yeah, it might be a high-scoring game, this one. But there again, it might not. So the next game, Watford against Brighton. Watford, in their last 5 games, their home form has been absolutely woeful. I mean, look at it. They lost 3-1 at home to Manchester City. They got a game with Crystal Palace, got called off. And then they lost 4-1 at home to West Ham. They lost 1-0 at home to Tottenham and lost 3-0 at home to Norwich in the game, which finally got their manager at the time the sack, Claudio Ranieri, the old wily fox, as I call him. And I do think he's a good coach. I do, but obviously just didn't work out for him at Watford. And then Brighton's last 5 away games, they drew 1-1 with Southampton. The game at Manchester United got postponed. They drew 1-1 with Chelsea. They lost 3-2 at Everton and drew 1-1 with Leicester. So this, again, is going to be another one that's going to be a really tight game, but I think Brighton will have too much from, I have to say. I think Watford are going to go. I really do. Sadly for them. I just can't see them getting themselves out of it. I really can't. I know they've got Big Roy down there, and Big Roy is a good coach. I rate him. I really do. I think the England job came too late for him. If they'd given it to him about 20 years earlier, I think it would have been a big success. I remember when he was manager at Blackburn, and he had so much bad luck that season. He was manager at Blackburn. He had all these injuries. The whole first team squad ended up going out injured, and they just fell like a stone in the league, and he ended up getting sacked. But because before all those injuries hit, they were doing really well and pushing hard in the title race and whatnot. And yeah, I just think he's a good coach, and I think he's very underrated. But yeah, there you go. And so the next game, Norwich against Man City. Now this is going to be a really interesting game for me because Norwich have been in good form of late, and obviously Man City, well, we all know about them. So, but Norwich, in their last 5 home games, they've lost 1-0 against Man United. They lost 2-0 against Aston Villa. And then we absolutely smashed them to pieces. 5-0 at Carrow Road. And then after that, Norwich beat Everton 2-1 at home and drew 1-1 last night with Crystal Palace. And they've had a couple of good results on the road, though, as well. Now, Manchester City, last 5 away games, they won 3-1 at Watford. They won 4-0 at Newcastle. They won 1-0 against Brentford. They won 2-1 against Arsenal and drew 1-1 with Southampton. So, yeah, this could be a tricky one for Man City if they're not careful. Because, like I say, Norwich haven't been playing too bad of late, so they need to be on their guard. But at the end of the day, this is Man City, so you'd have to say that they're going to steamroll on Norwich. But I don't think they're going to have it all their own way. Then, Burnley against Liverpool. This will be a hard game for Liverpool. Burnley aren't conceding many at the moment, but they're not really scoring many either, because Newcastle played a tactical masterclass on them, in my opinion, when they got Chris Wood off Burnley's main attacking threat. So, yeah, now they're struggling for goals. So, Burnley's last 5 games have seen them draw 0-0 with West Ham, the game with Everton and the game with Leicester. The games with Everton and Leicester City were postponed. Then they drew 0-0 with Watford, and they drew 1-1 with Manchester United. So that was 2 days ago. So, yeah, Tuesday. So since the 12th of December, they've only scored 1 goal at home in all that time. So that tells you all you need to know. But there again, on the other hand, they've only conceded 1 as well. So I'm sure there's lots of clubs in the Premier League who would be envious of their defensive record, but not so much their attacking threat. So Liverpool, let's have a look at what they've been up to. So in their last 5 away games, they've won 1-0 at Wolves. They drew 2-2 with Tottenham. They lost 1-0 at Leicester, drew 2-2 with Chelsea, and they won 3-1 at Crystal Palace. So this could be quite tricky for Liverpool. If they don't perform to their usual high standard, I could see Burnley troubling them. But you'd have to say that Liverpool will probably win this by a good couple of goals. So, yeah. Then Newcastle against Aston Villa. Now, this will be an interesting one. All Newcastle's new signings. and their form has improved since the beginning of December. In their last 5 games, Newcastle have beaten Burnley 1-0 at home. They lost 4-0 at home to Man City, drew 1-1 with Manchester United at home, drew 1-1 with Watford at home, and beat Everton 3-1. And that was another game that was played on Tuesday night. And then Aston Villa, their away form, they lost 1-0 at Liverpool. They lost 2-0. So they won 2-0 at Norwich. They had their game with Leeds postponed. They lost 2-1 at Brentford, and they won 1-0 at Everton. So their away form has been very mixed, but I think next season Villa are going to bang. I really do. So Arsenal need to be on their guard, because otherwise that'd be another team that overtakes us. Then Tottenham against Wolves. Tottenham, in their last 5 home games, they've won 3-0 against Norwich. They drew 2-2 with Liverpool. They won 3-0 at home to Crystal Palace. They had their game with Arsenal postponed, and they lost 3-2 against Southampton last night. Wolves, on the other hand, their last 5 away games, they lost 1-0 at Manchester City. They won 1-0 at Brighton. The game with Arsenal at the Emirates was postponed. They won 1-0 at Manchester United and won 2-1 against Brentford. So their form hasn't been too shabby on the road, to be quite fair. And since the 11th of December, they've only conceded 2 goals away from home. So that's very good. It really is. And then last but not least, Leicester against West Ham. Leicester's last 5 home games, they had a game against Tottenham, postponed on the 16th of December. Then they beat Liverpool 1-0. Then another game postponed, which was against Norwich on the 1st of January. Then they lost 3-2 against Tottenham. And then they drew 1-1 with Brighton and Hove Albion. West Ham on the road. They drew 0-0 with Burnley. They lost 2-0 at Arsenal. They won 4-1 at Watford, 3-2 against Crystal Palace, and lost 1-0 at Manchester United. So, yeah, it's been a bit mixed of them as well, but that's the current form over and done with. So let's have a look at the Warren's Talk predictions game and see what my predictions are for this weekend. Right, so I'm going Manchester United against Southampton. I think that's going to be a 2-2 draw. Brentford against Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace will win by 2-1. Everton against Leeds, I can see that being a draw. I think 1-1 it will be. Frank Lampard's first league game in charge as Everton manager, after their win 4-1 in the FA Cup. I'm sure that the players will be eager to impress him, but Leeds are in a relegation dogfight, so they'll be up for the scrap. No doubts there. Watford against Brighton, I can only see Brighton winning that comfortably by 2-0. It could even be more, to be honest, because Watford are absolutely woeful. Norwich against Man City. Unfortunately for Norwich, I think they're going to get slapped by Manchester City in this game. I do think Norwich will score though, but I think Man City will win out by 3-1. And then Burnley against Liverpool. I think Liverpool will win by 2-0. Newcastle against Aston Villa. I think that would be a 1-1 draw. And I think also that Tottenham against Wolves, that'll be another 1-1 draw. And Leicester against West Ham, I think West Ham will win by 2-1. And can I just say, I think this whole business about that lad Zuma and his cat, I think it's absolutely disgusting how he's been allowed to play by West Ham. I just do not know. He needs to be. He should have been. He shouldn't have played. He shouldn't. And Old School says Man City will thrash the Canaries. Will trash the Canaries. I think they will, mate. Mate of mine's a big Norwich fan, and sadly for him, I think they will. But I still think Norwich are going to stay up. I really do. I think it's going to be tight, but I think there's at least 5-6 clubs going to be in the reckoning come the end of the season, and I think they'll get out of it. I really do. So yeah, just a quick reminder again, like I said at the beginning of the video, there's a petition available for anyone who wants to sign it to stop Arsenal offering Mikel Arteta a new contract. So the link for it is in the description. So click on it and get it signed if you don't want that to happen. So it's just another way. It's just a way for people to show their opposition to the fact that they're thinking about offering him a new contract, because if he gets offered a new contract, I think it'd be a big mistake. I really do. Because let's face it, he's not doing a very good job, is he? So yeah, I want to big up the GoonerClaude Trust. GoonerClaude Trust was set up in memory of Claude, who was a regular on AFTV until he set up his own channel, the Claude and the Bantsters channel, and he died sadly at the beginning of last year, well, April time, I think it was. And the trust aims to give disadvantaged kids the opportunity to attend Arsenal matches at the Emirates Stadium. And it's not just any part of the ground they're going into one of the most exclusive parts of the ground there is. So it's a great day out for them, and the kids, the feedback that I've seen seems to show that the kids absolutely love it, and fair play to them. That's all I can say. There's nothing like seeing the kids smile after something you've done for them. There really isn't. It's the most amazing feeling in the world. Any of you watching this who've got kids will know exactly what I mean when I say that. So yeah, if you want to find out more about what they do, click on the link. And there's full information about what they do. And if you're interested in supporting their work, it will tell you how to do that as well. Now, moving on, I just want to big up these other YouTube channels. All these YouTube channels are Arsenal YouTube channels. The first one is my old mate, the old school Guna, who's been in the chat today. Top man. And make sure you go and check him out. He's been supporting Arsenal since 1992. And he knows his stuff. Let's put it like that. And he discusses all things Arsenal and brings you insightful Arsenal content. And he does it with a passion and desire for the club. And like I say, he knows there ain't much that he don't know about Arsenal. Let's put it like that. Then there's Arsenal Alex, another mad, passionate Arsenal fan. A lovely guy. Another one who knows his football, and it's very intelligent, very insightful, and he does instant match reactions and brings you all the latest news regarding Arsenal, and his presentation style is second to none in my opinion. And then there's Drawn by Dre, young lad who brings you top quality Arsenal content, including his highly rated and excellent possession-based podcast. Another lovely lad, and one who definitely deserves a lot of support for what he does. And then the Aussie Guna. Oh my God. What can I say about the Aussie Guna? The man is a legend in his own podcast. That's the best way to put it, I think. A legend. An absolute fucking legend. He don't pull no punches. He just says it how he sees it. And I love it. I love that when people do that. And he does it, and he does it in absolute style. He discusses on his channel, he discusses all things Arsenal from an Aussie perspective. And I just got one thing to say to you, Aussie Guna. What is it you say? You who fellas, that's it. Something like that he says at the end of all these Ruhu or something like that at the end of his videos. So yeah, he's a top guy. He's very passionate about the Arsenal, and he don't take no prisoners. I absolutely love it. And then there's Diesel Arsenal. He's got the fastest growing new channel on YouTube. Diesel's a former presenter on the Claude and the Banter channel with Claude, and he discusses all things Arsenal, as well as he will be presenting discussion on other subjects such as films, dating, mental health, amongst other popular topics. So he's not going to just talk about football, he's going to talk about lots of things. And listen, this boy, he can talk the hind legs off a donkey. And when he does these streams, I've seen him been doing streams for 2 hours, 3 hours, but it just goes just like that. And that's because of his talent for talking. He's superb. And if talking was an Olympic sport, mate, he would be lapping the opposition. Let's put it like that. He's on another level. He really is. So anyway, go and check all these channels out. They're absolutely superb. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. So give them all a sub. Make sure you share their content around. Put likes on their videos, all that sort of stuff. Put comments in and whatnot. Engage with them because they're lovely guys, all of them. And yeah, there's links in for their video, their channels in the video description. So yeah, that's my recommendation. So I hope you like that. And yeah, that was match day. My preview of match day 25 of the FA Premier League for the games that are coming up this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. My name's Warren, and this is the Warren's Team Talk channel. And if I'm not back before, I'll be back on Saturday for the match day live show when we'll be covering the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League and all the other games that are kicking off at 3 o'clock up and down the country. So the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League, just to give you an idea, on Saturday are Brentford against Crystal Palace, Everton against Leeds United, and Watford against Brighton and Hove Albion. And we'll give you a little update about the Man United Southampton game as well. So how about that? So yeah, it'll be wild because the last one, the FA Cup one we did last weekend, that was absolutely superb. It really was. So come and join us for that. Check it out. I'm sure you're going to absolutely love it. I just want to thank everyone who's been in the chat today, the live chat. So big up the old school Guna and Taib Hussain. And also I want to give a big thank you to everyone who's watching this on playback. Thank you very, very much. put your comments in the comment section about what you think is going to happen in these games at the weekend, what your predictions are for the games that are going to be kicking off in this weekend's Premier League games. And if you're watching it after the games have been played, tell me what you thought about the games. Tell me about what you thought about the contentious decisions and everything. I'd love to read all of that. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to put a like on the video. Don't forget to share the content around. And please, 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 if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And more importantly than any of that, please look after yourselves, look after each other, keep talking to each other, and remember, share some love and kindness around the world, please. Please, please, please. And take care. And like I say, if I don't see you before, I'll see you on Saturday. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.